So everybody wants to know, is fighting a bad thing? Because it feels so uncomfortable. People always want to know, does that mean my relationship is in trouble because I'm fighting? And I would say, well, that really depends. But I do believe that fighting is a must and a necessary part of being in a romantic relationship, or really any close relationship, but specifically with our, significant others. And the reason that I think it's so important is because I think that fighting in a relationship, particularly when it's done effectively and it's done meaningfully and with purpose, can help a couple grow and be more connected to each other and really move forward with a better understanding of what's happening in the relationship. And I think that just like we in boxing and all people who fight, which is pretty much everybody, it's such a part of our human nature. And I think that in the physical sense, we fight for survival. It's part of our instincts. That if we're faced with danger, that we'll fight to live, fight to survive. And I think that when we fight in our relationships, we're fighting to survive emotionally, and we're fighting to get our needs met, and we're fighting to be heard. And it's not really any different than the instincts that I think push us to fight physically when under attack. It might even feel more intense in some ways emotionally. So that being said, I don't think that fighting is a bad thing. I think it can get bad when there are, boundaries crossed during that fight that are below like hitting below the belt in a boxing match. And as I said in the previous video, even though boxing is barbaric to some, it is still governed by certain standards and certain rules. And if boxers don't respect those rules in the ring, they can be disqualified, they can get points taken away from them, and ultimately can have a lot of problems. And look at, I don't know if people remember when Mike Tyson bit of Evander Holyfield's, piece of Evander Holyfield's ear off, during a fight. I mean, that would be a completely dirty move and unacceptable. And I think that sometimes we behave like Mike Tyson did that day in our relationships. We'll go for the jugular. We'll, try to get people where it hurts, push the buttons, swear, yell, and can be quite, abusive a lot of times. And I think that's not good fighting. And I think that could potentially be a sign that, there's some trouble in the relationship. But generally speaking, I think that fighting is not only a necessary but a healthy part of being in a close relationship. And as long as we're being respectful of certain boundaries and not swearing or hitting, obviously, or anything physical in the emotional realm, then I think that it can be okay. But a lot of people have a very hard time fighting fairly and fighting effectively. Boxers train for years to learn how to throw a punch, how to defend themselves, how to move in the ring. And I think that we all could use a little bit of training sometimes, and that's where I come in. So if you feel like you need a little training on how to be in a healthy relationship and fight effectively and meaningfully, eliztherapist@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from all of you.